My name is Ex-aide Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. This is breaking news minutes ago. And if this is true, this is very disheartening, and it hurts President Trump. It hurts the country. It actually in the long term hurts Democrats, but they're too stupid to realize that. ABC News, ABC World News Now knew this morning. Former Trump campaign aide Sam Nunberg says he will cooperate with Special Counsel Robert Mueller after initially promising to defy a subpoena during a series of unscripted interviews on cable news. So that's ABC World News Now. Actually, not long ago. And this is very disheartening, especially since, go ahead and check out his interview with Katie Tur. This is 2 minutes and 36 seconds in, but check him out. Just check him out.
You were there when Donald Trump was deciding to announce he wanted to run for president.
Donald Trump did not collude with the Russians. It is the biggest joke to ever think Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. I can tell you, Donald Trump, when he was involved in conservative politics, it did not help his business.
Donald Trump did not collude with the Russians is the biggest joke. It didn't help his business to be involved in conservative politics. Now all you hear is he may have done something. He may have done something. That's how they're spinning it, because what Nunberg thinks is that he did something wrong with his businesses. Which could be the case? Probably not. Probably not. He's had ups and downs in terms of business, but he's a billionaire. So what Nunberg was saying is, well, you know what? He probably did something. The Mueller probe is really after his business dealings, which isn't the Russian interference in the election, nor is it the alleged Russian hacking that was really a DNC leak. And Kim.com has informed everybody of the leaker. Almost certainly Kim.com is correct. And the situation here is that President Trump, in my humble opinion, and this is a profanity alert, is completely and utterly fucking up. He needs to fire Mueller as soon as possible. And the Democratic Party is not owed a special counsel to harm Trump or to impeach Trump. They need to defeat him in 2020, and they need to defeat Republicans in 2018. They have to defeat Republicans in an election. See, what Democrats do in the 2016 Democratic primary, they didn't defeat Bernie in a primary. They defeated him by cheating him with media collusion, saying that he wasn't pragmatic. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. 4 other Democratic officials were forced to resign. Donna Brazile was forced out of CNN, fired from CNN because of WikiLeaks DNC emails showing that she passed debate questions to Hillary Clinton. They all favored Clinton. It was not fair and neutral. Debbie Wasserman Schultz lied. The point is, Democrats they've lost the understanding of elections, primaries, going up against somebody and winning. They can't do it. They could not beat Trump. They could not defeat Trump. Nate Silver, the god of polls, he's viewed as the god of polls, only had Trump at 2%, gave him a 2% chance. A 2% chance to become GOP nominee. And the line, it's actually below in the description section. If you want absurd specificity, I'll give Trump a 2% chance based on the numbers. Really? This is a royal F-up on the part of Trump, and it's not, the Democratic Party is not owed a Mueller probe. The country doesn't even care about a Mueller probe. The people who don't like Trump believe that he colluded with Russia, whether or not Mueller could come out tomorrow and say, oh, by the way, we've exonerated Trump, he didn't collude with Russia, they would spin it in 2 seconds, just like they spun the election. They would say that Trump has corrupted Robert Mueller. They would turn on Robert Mueller, and they would say, oh my goodness, you know, Trump has, they would hate the FBI and CIA again if they backed up the claim that Trump was innocent. They're a bunch of fickle, sore, loser, butthurt babies. Just cheats, scoundrels. They don't want to actually go up against him in 2020. They want to impeach him. They want to hurt Trump as much as possible.
Okay, Donald Trump did not want to attack Hillary Clinton early on in the campaign. He only wanted to attack Jeb Bush because it wasn't going to be good for him. And had he not won the primary, he was probably going to endorse Hillary Clinton.
Had he not won the primary, he was probably going to endorse Hillary Clinton. Trump has been a Democrat most of his life. He's been a Republican for, 10 years now or so. The reason I say it's a royal fuck-up is this. Chuck Schumer talked about how the intelligence community can get back at Trump. This is Chuck Schumer.
Ask you, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't want to blindside you with this. This is the latest statement, latest tweet, as you were just saying. President-elect's latest unsolicited pronouncement on the intelligence community. This was his tweet just a little while ago tonight. You see the scare quotes there. The intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. We're actually told, intelligence sources tell NBC News since this tweet has been posted, that actually this intelligence briefing for the president-elect was always planned for Friday. It hasn't been delayed. But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I'm told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them. And we need the intelligence getting back at you. Intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
The intelligence community, Chuck Schumer. Let me give you a little lesson in history, or let me correct you. The intelligence community, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, all of them exist only to protect this country. They are not autonomous entities, or maybe they are, but they shouldn't be theoretically. They exist only to protect us from people who would harm the country, people who would put American citizens at risk. They have no business. They're just government employees, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. But if you work for the post office, or if you work for the NSA, or if you're an NSA chief or a CIA chief, and you are any other government employee, you work for the EPA, you're still a government employee. Our taxes go to fund the salaries of Chuck Schumer and the intelligence community that he so gleefully states will get back at Trump. It's not a matter of them getting back at anyone. They need to do their jobs, and their jobs are simply to keep us safe. If that is too idealistic of a viewpoint, then people need to vote out the Chuck Schumers of the world and need to ensure the Democrats lose. The Democratic Party stands for nothing and has tried to become like the Republican Party, or the party of national security, which is very bizarre. Very bizarre. That it's so odd. You had Bush and the neoconservatives, and generally Reagan, generally the Republicans, Nixon, generally the Republicans are more hawkish. Now you have Democrats who are pretending to be more hawkish. And you have a whole bunch of people on YouTube who are quote-unquote progressives or on Twitter or whatever, social media, whatever, progressives, and they align themselves with the Democratic Party. But very bizarre. The strange thing is that Democrats are trying to present themselves as very close, they worship the CIA, the FBI, the NSA. Their neoconservatives are already within the party. There's zero anti-war movement. There's zero anti-war movement. Zero. There are progressive organizations. Oh yeah, their platform has nothing to do with bringing soldiers home. Zero anti-war movement. And it's just so interesting how Chuck Schumer would go ahead and threaten Trump. Then you have Podesta threatening Jared Kushner. And what is Trump doing to protect his family, to protect his presidency from this? You cannot negotiate with insane people. These people are now insane. They don't care. The prevailing mentality is, let it just die down, and the Sam Nunbergs of the world will just pop up sometimes, and there might be bumps in the road, but at the end of the day, they won't find anything and let it die down. That's wrong. That's wrong. You just heard right now Chuck Schumer boasted, was gloating, he was gleeful that the intelligence community was going to get back at Trump for a tweet. This isn't, he wasn't cutting the budget substantially of the NSA. He wasn't, disparaging, people who have lost their lives. He was just saying the intelligence community, quote unquote, and he was taking a jab at them because the NSA is moderately confident. See, if the NSA was certain, I wouldn't talk and harp about this because they would be certain and there'd be evidence that we could all see. But they're not certain. They're moderately confident in the whole Russian hacking myth. And you have Chuck Schumer saying the intelligence community is going to get back at Trump. And you have the curious case, and I've been going on this long tangent, the curious case of Sam Nunberg. You just heard Sam Nunberg say that Trump did not collude with Russia. Tariff, Sam Nunberg, net neutrality. Okay, so let's see if the New York Times... Let's see if the New York Times leans towards... Mr. Nunberg wavered about whether he would appear on Friday as ordered. By the way, check out my latest... I'll put my latest segment below. Please check that out. You had Brian Pagliano completely ignoring a subpoena, refusing to show up to Congress to testify, with his attorney or his legal team having the audacity to say, oh, well, you know what? He would have just pled the fifth anyway, so what's the difference? I thought subpoenas weren't optional, but they're optional for Brian Pagliano, and 4 years of his emails are missing. Wonder why? How does the State Department lose 4 years of someone's emails? How do they lose 3 months of Clinton's emails? So 8 hours ago, former Trump aide said, and not only that, the CEO of Platte River, Representative Congressman Lamar Smith of Texas, wants him prosecuted for ignoring subpoenas. Then there was a subpoena that Paul Combetta, right at Stone Tier, ignored, and he deleted evidence that was subpoenaed, Benghazi emails. He just deleted them because, Cheryl Mills told him to delete them before the subpoena. So during the Clinton administration, they didn't care about subpoenas. They didn't care about subpoenas. ABC News is reporting that he will comply. Let's see who else. Okay, so ABC News, now it's NBC News. Ex-aide Sam Nunberg backs away from vow to fight Mueller's subpoena. After a day spent belligerently defying Special Counsel Mueller, former Donald Trump campaign aide Sam Nunberg appeared to reverse himself on Monday night and said he likely will cooperate with a subpoena seeking campaign documents related to the Russia investigation. See, that's baloney. This is the president is right. It's a witch hunt. Nunberg told MSNBC's Katie Tur. This is baloney. So, I mean, Trump is allowing this to take place, and he doesn't have to. He can simply go ahead, fire Mueller, indict Clinton, and let the chips fall where they may, which will always revert, which will actually help Republicans. Because what are Democrats going to run on if the Mueller probe, if Mueller is fired or Rosenstein's fired and then the Mueller probe ends? At this point right now, it's just complete belligerence. Nothing to do with Russian hackers, nothing to do with Trump-Russia collusion. Even Sam Nunberg calls that ridiculous, absurd. And then you had, for a second, Sam Nunberg saying, you know what, Mueller, F you. I'm not going to deal with your crap. It was kind of hilarious. But we don't need Nunberg to do this. The Washington Post, what is Trump doing? It's just, to my conservative viewers who watch this channel, I appreciate you watching, I love you, and I want you to just answer. I mean, give me your thoughts. What is Trump doing? The Washington Post, the New York Times, the CNN, MSNBC, they're going to hate him no matter what. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mueller can go ahead tomorrow, which he won't, and say, oh, by the way, Trump is just fine. We were wrong. There was never even any evidence at all, which is true. But they're not going to do that. He's not going to do that, Mueller. So you have a situation where, for a split second, Sam Nunberg showed some backbone that people in the White House, people everywhere should show. I understand that it's easier said than done. I understand that if you're not in that position, it's easier to just go ahead and say, yeah, you know what, fight it. Because nobody wants to go to jail simply because of a subpoena. But you can simply bring up the precedent. Pagliano didn't. And with Pagliano, there was a specific crime. Clinton transferred emails, top secret intelligence, not just emails, top secret intelligence. And guess who helped him transfer that? Pagliano. Helped her transfer that, Pagliano. And he didn't show up. Platte River CEO totally ignored any request from Lamar Smith. Platte River, Paul Combetta, are you kidding? He went on Reddit and asked for people to help him delete emails. So, delete subpoenaed emails. So who wins here? It's like you had, the reason that I'm taking this very seriously is you had a moment where somebody was fighting back and somebody was calling Mueller the buffoon that he is, the liar that he is. And Mueller has this kind of refined, classy, debonair. I don't know. He seems like he's this straight shooter, but this is also the guy that presided over a bribery and racketeering scandal that resulted in yellow cake uranium being shipped out of the country. And that's in the New York Times. That's a fact. So I'm going on and on like I usually do. But how does Trump benefit? Give me your thoughts below. If I'm off base, tell me I'm off base. Tell me that, Trump should keep the Mueller probe forever. Do you think Mueller is going to unilaterally just say, yeah, you don't need me anymore. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be adored and revered by MSNBC and all the millennials who hate Trump, but, you know, don't want to really tackle him in an election because they know they'll lose. You think Mueller's just going to say, yeah, I give up. We're not finding anything. He will go until the second term, until the end of the second term. There's no end to Mueller. There's zero end to Mueller. And if he goes into 2020 with Mueller still investigating, which is a possibility, then that hurts Trump's chances, even though I believe Trump will easily win. But you never know. Democrats could be rewarded for their cheating. So it's just unbelievable. I mean, you heard Chuck Schumer basically say, yeah, you know, the intelligence community is going to get back at him. That's not what the job of the intelligence community is. And that should tell you a little bit about Robert Mueller. Already on Trump's Twitter yesterday, John Brennan had like 16,000 retweets just going after Trump. They try to play Trump's game, but it looks stupid. And the end game here, unless Trump takes the initiative, he is going to miscalculate. He's not going to make the right decisions. Firing Comey was a good thing. You had the Mueller probe. You had a freaking year of them, over a year plus of the Mueller probe. Enough. You've given them a chance. He can indict people. If there are indictments that have nothing to do with Russian hacking, which almost certainly all the indictments have nothing to do with Russian hacking or Russian interference. I don't count Facebook ads after the election as interference or meddling. Then Trump should fire Mueller and simply go ahead. Simply go ahead and deal with whatever repercussions. Let me go ahead and find out. So I have two outlets here, NBC News and ABC News. And I love it. It's like when they go ahead, when the Republicans do what they do, when the Republicans mimic the Democratic Party or repeat exactly what the Democratic Party does, you'll see the Democrats go, oh my God, look what took place. But Democrats voted not to prosecute Brian Pagliano. So that's how fair and neutral they are. All right, give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. From what I see here, I'll list two links below. It's very early in the morning, so he could maybe change his mind. Let's hope he changes his mind and kind of forces Mueller and Trump to deal with this farce of an investigation. Someone has to tell Mueller that this is not an investigation that has to do with Trump-Russia collusion or Russian hacking, and someone should tell President Trump that the longer he allows this to take place, the more it hurts him, and the more it hurts the country. This is not helping the country. There's no evidence. When people say, oh, well, you just don't know, there's no crime that precedes the investigation. Watergate, break-in, Clinton emails, transferring top secret intelligence onto a server. Crime first, investigation second. Not investigation to find a crime. That's absurd. That's what secret police in totalitarian nations do. This is not a totalitarian nation. We have the rule of law here, and if anyone's a criminal, it's Clinton. Not anyone. Not in terms of Trump, Russia. There's nobody that Mueller has indicted, and nobody that he's stated has committed a crime in terms of collusion with Russia. James Clapper, Dianne Feinstein, Adam Schiff, Jay Johnson, all these people. The DNC never gave its computer service to the FBI, and none of them have evidence of Trump-Russia collusion. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. It seems that Sam Nunberg has reversed course. And it seems, from the latest, hopefully he changes his mind, but I listed two sources, NBC and ABC, that state that he will cooperate. So stay tuned. He might change his mind in a couple of hours. Give me your thoughts below. Share this segment everywhere. Hit subscribe right now. We are over 107,000, on our way to 110,000. Thank you so much for listening.